Welcome to the IAD Club and an all-new Saturday morning coffee show. Jack Mitchell's gone. Matt McMaster is here, and we already have a super chat from Theo. Matt, hello. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Theo's the guy. Theo's awesome. Theo's always in our YouTube chats. He's always hyping me up. He's always calling me a radio stump man. He's the dude. I'm great. Cheers to you.
Yeah, cheers. Look at this. Good to be here. Good to be chatting with Matt. Jack is gone this week. It is the bye week, so he went to a wedding, and that is why he is gone. But we very much appreciate Matt for hanging out with us over the course of the next hour.
What an idiot.
Dude, it's the best Saturday of the damn year.
What a dumbass.
Yeah.
I mean, what is he doing? I mean, now here's a guy.
Talk about a guy
that doesn't have a brain.
Yeah. And for you, Matt, this is the first Saturday or first game day of a season as Banks is humping his bed to death right now.
Hell
this
yeah,
is the first
for Banks, man.
Yeah, he's going. He does not like it when I do podcasts. He just gets so mad. This is the first time for you to get a day off, man. I'm so excited for you.
This is my first day off since the beginning of the season.
Good Lord. And you decided to take some of your time away by talking to me on the...
I have a bachelor party today.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
How tired are you going to be tonight?
So it starts at 1. And we're like pre-gaming. And we're pre-gaming at a pretty nice house. It's a good setup.
Good.
It's his father-in-law has like his own bar. It's awesome.
Oh,
but
man.
Here's the problem. Here's the kicker, Peterson. It's a Green Bay themed bar.
Oh, come on, Matt. You can't be spending a Saturday with these
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I spent a whole Sunday with them, and it was great. It was awesome. I was like, why can't this be like a random ass team that I don't give a damn about? Like, why?
Seriously,
like, why?
The Titans.
The Cardinals. Why can't this be a Cardinals?
The Broncos. Why couldn't it be a Broncos bar?
I don't give a shit about the Broncos. Like, it could have been the Chargers. You know?
So
my God.
Speaking of football, how are you going to be tomorrow morning when we do before the witching hour?
I'll be fine.
Okay, all right. You are, man. The ability to recover after a night of drinking is.
Totally okay.
Matt, I miss those days. You know, I know people are probably really condescending to you because you're young and they're like, "Oh, Matt, I remember that." Like, enjoy these days. I will say that about drinking. Enjoy. Well, being able to start drinking at 1 on a Saturday and still do a podcast on Sunday at 9:30.
This is the reason why I'm not offended by that though is because people said the same crap about me with college. Yeah. And I was like, shut up. Like. Come on, if the best days of your life are college, like you got to have a better life.
Yeah,
and then,
seriously.
But now I like yearn to be back in college.
Do you really? You wish you were still in college?
Do you know what? When I like wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and
I'm going to do a 6 o'clock radio show.
Well, I mean that's what I've been doing apparently. I mean, if you go back to me missing a full hour on Monday like a dummy.
Oh man, by the way, I thought that was about to happen today.
Oh, no. I just didn't. I was switching spots and I didn't have internet. Which, by the way, I don't think this should become like a reputation of mine for missing my show. I did my show for 10 months, and it took me 10 months to finally just forget to set my alarm, which now I have a running alarm clock. So anyway, what I was saying, though, is I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, trying to think of what I'm going to say because Deion Sanders said something. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of miss the days. I kind of miss the days when I could just like, be like, oh, I'm going to miss class. No big deal.
I do miss skipping school as well. Sam wants us to acknowledge Theo's super chat. We did, though. I guess we didn't acknowledge the actual words of the super chat, which were Omaha Central.
Yeah, what an
salute
upset.
Emoji. Oh, I have no idea what happened. I went to see one battle after another last night. And then I got home. Man, I got really, really, really good. I listened to a podcast about it this morning. Yeah, it's really, really, really good. I got home and I turned on the TV, and the first play I saw was the catch that wasn't a catch by Florida State at the end of that game. And then I saw the field storming. And did you miss the end of that game? Oh my gosh,
I did not.
You know Virginia won, right?
I do. I am aware of that. Aware of that, which I feel I love T. White. So I feel terrible for him.
For sure. You're a big James Williams guy.
Well, okay, you know what? I've purposefully decided to stay out of that discourse and just not even engage or read or care about it. I think it's a little weird if you are obsessed with it and you're licking your chops because James Williams, who was a Mark Gastineau third down specialist for Nebraska, decided to go to Florida. If you're
nice reference
out about that, I'm sorry, you and I, we're just not worried about the same things. So I'm not freaking out about it. Also too, I don't think anything James Williams said was wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think it was incorrect when he said that they have better athletes in Florida. I'm sorry, guys. Have you seen the landscape of college football? They have better athletes in Florida than they do in the Midwest. That's just a fact. So
And there you go. We have now relitigated James Williams discourse.
No, but if you're going to get pissed at me for saying that, then you know where to shove it. So I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, screw you for bringing that up now, because now I'm in the James Williams.
Yep, look at what you did. You just did it. So yeah, no game, of course, today, which is in part, again, why Jack is gone. We have a fun show planned coming up. We'll get to the Saturday flight as we usually do, look ahead to the day's action. But I wanted to, Matt, the crux of today's show, this is not me tooting my own horn, so don't put it on the internet that I'm tooting my own horn. But I wrote a couple of stories for Husker Max about a month and a half ago. One of them was viewing the Nebraska season and saying, here is why it is time to believe. The title of it was, I'm ready to get hurt again. Here are the reasons to buy into Nebraska. And then I wrote another one that's basically was put down the Kool-Aid, you idiot. They're not doing shit this year. And so I wanted to unpack those, and I wanted to figure out if the good things have happened.
Sure.
And I want to figure out if the bad things have happened, and maybe look a little bit ahead on the final 8 games of the year. Before we get into the 4 good and the 4 bad, you and I did a pod the Saturday after their opener versus Cincinnati, and we had some takeaways. I wonder now, as they enter into the crux of the non-conference schedule, if this is the team that you thought it would be, or maybe where is it the team you did think it would be, and where is it the team that you're oh, this isn't what I was expecting this year.
So I had 8-4, and I actually specifically said they would lose to Michigan, USC, Iowa, and Penn State. Those were my 4 specific losses. And so my whole deal, and I guess the theme of my prediction, and now the theme of my season, because it ended up being an argument that me and your co-host got into at the roundtable, was I don't see Nebraska. I don't see the next step as Nebraska beating Michigan. I don't see the next step as Nebraska beating USC. I see the next step as them winning the games that they're favored to win.
Yep.
And that is kind of
AKA the October games that we're about to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so to me, I look at this team as I really do think they can rattle off in the preseason. I really do think they can rattle off wins against Minnesota and Northwestern and Maryland and UCLA. And show that, hey, there's actually progress here, and that they have raised the floor to the point where they're just not going to absolutely shit on themselves in a game that they should win. After 4 weeks, I still am at 8-4. I still think that they are going to do that. I'm just less confident in it.
Yeah.
I'm less confident in my prediction. I can, in the preseason, I was there's no way they're going to lose to Maryland. I was there's no way they're going to lose.
And you would obviously not say there's no way they lose to Maryland today. They're not losing to Northwestern, right? We agree on they're bad. I know that you're a Northwestern honk, but
Josh, but it has nothing to do with the opponent and everything to do with the principal. Because back in 2023, we were saying, wow, Michigan State doesn't have Mel Tucker. They have Noah Kim as their quarterback. What do you mean they're going to – I don't care Heinrich Harburger started. This team has won 3 out of their last 4 games. They just beat a Power 5 team at home. They're not going to – bowl eligibility, baby, and they lose that game. Last year we said, all right, hey, coming off that Ohio State loss, you actually look pretty good in it. There's no way you're going to lose to UCLA. And then they lose to UCLA.
And not only did they lose, they were down at one point by 3 scores.
So, it's I'm not really looking at it as an opponent, and I'm more so just looking at it as a number. And they've lost to that number before. I'm still confident that they will be 8-5 or 8-4. I'm just not as confident as I was, because and we'll get into you will find out why when we kind of dive into your articles.
Yeah, let's get into that in just a moment. Husker for MU writes, special teams are better, passing game is better, run game is same, offensive line is worse, question mark, D-line way worse, and then adds, and I think you and I are both in agreement on this, Michigan State tells us more about Nebraska than Michigan does. And I think that is the most fun part about October is that you are right. Next step is not beating Michigan. The next step would be taking care of business in October. So this is perfect, Matt, because the first bullet point that I had, and I'll put this one in the Discord if anybody
by the
wants
way, my Discord is all jonky right now, and my phone is dead, so I can't see the Discord chat, so I want to apologize.
So if anyone wants to talk shit about Matt in the Discord, feel free. He can't see it right now.
I can't. No, I literally can't. Yeah. My Discord wants to update, and it's and when it starts updating,
dude, it takes forever. The things are spinning around,
and then I tried doing it while you were talking, and then you were starting to cut out, and I was like, all right, I guess we're not doing that today. So.
Oh, bummer. All right. So the first bullet point, Matt, and this is perfect, that we were just talking about this. The schedule allows for the team to find itself before a big-time late October and November. And I wrote, yeah, you read that right. We're starting with schedule talk. And the argument that I made was basically, look, they're going to be favored in the opener against Cincinnati, and they won that. Of course, the Tomato Can, Akron, Houston Christian matchups. Even if you viewed Michigan as a loss, which I did in the preseason, at the time, and I put Kelly Ford's his ratings up. Nebraska was favored, 72% chance to beat Michigan State, 73% chance to beat Maryland, 54% chance to beat Minnesota, and 84% chance to beat Northwestern. Now, what's funny is I'm opening up his latest projections. Matt, I mean, they're basically the same, if not actually improving for Nebraska. The percentage is, 86% chance now to beat Michigan State, 73% chance to beat both Maryland and Minnesota, and 91% chance to beat Northwestern. So the first bullet point was nice, manageable schedule if they can finally take advantage of it. Dare I say, Matt, this is like an incomplete because now we actually have to see them do it, but I do feel good that was one of my reasons for the step forward. Let's see if they can actually do it now over the course of the next month.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that it's a valid reason, but it's one of those reasons that you can't really develop throughout the year. And I don't really – the one thing is that I think last year when you looked at the schedule, you could have probably – like there were people who were like, Indiana might be better. There were people who were like, Illinois could take a turn. Like Luke Altmaier could be pretty good this year. I don't think there was anybody who was saying that about the opponents that Nebraska had on their schedule this year. I don't think anybody was saying – Preston Stone and Joe Hyman could end up being, really good for Northwestern. I don't think anybody thought Malik Washington, while he's really good and he's broken out.
Yeah, we talked about him.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was really predicting that was going to happen. UCLA is a dumpster fire. Like, Jesus, that has taken a turn that I did not think it would take.
Well, God, if they lose today to Northwestern, UCLA might go 0-12 this year.
They will lose to Northwestern today.
Yeah? You like the Cats?
I love the Cats. And then I told you about Minnesota. I told you I was fully out on Minnesota. I thought Minnesota was a top-heavy, has 3 good players, relying on a very true freshman quarterback to try and uplift an offense that doesn't have a ton of talent on it to begin with, and they were already kind of zapped on the O-line, and California kind of went out there and kicked their ass and proved it. So, I mean, I once again, it's not necessarily about the teams, and it's more about the principle. But I do think that, like, there are professionals running this program and that there's enough talent where I don't think the bottom is going to completely fall out like it did last year. But we'll get more into that because I'm developing. Right. I'm saving on to something because I think we're going to have a better opportunity for me to put it. And I have a take that's developing.
Okay.
This is a tease. I'm developing a take. That's like not fully there, and I'm not.
It's
fully
in the bowl. You're stirring it.
I'm
you're getting it ready.
Like I'm like looking at it, and I'm like bad take now might be good take in 2 weeks. Like
okay, well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where it shows up then on the list.
But I know. I'm waiting. I know specifically what point I'm going to use it at.
Okay.
So what's your next one?
Next one was Dylan Raiola is about to take a massive step forward. You want to talk about one, Matt, to look back on in the preseason as a believer in why Nebraska would be better? Dylan Raiola, 11 touchdowns, 1 INT through 3 games. That would correlate to 33-3. Now, do I think he's going to do that in the regular season? No, I do not. But I'm going to bring up the point that I brought up with you on Bigger at Overreaction, that I know I brought up with Jack, that I know I brought up with John. There was a moment early in the game against Michigan where he walked to the sidelines and Emmett Johnson was basically giving him a pep talk like, dude, it's going to be fine. And that, I thought, was quite the moment because he could have reverted to last year. And instead, I thought he played his best football against Michigan after the interception than he did before. Like, that is the exact opposite of front runner behavior, which I absolutely love to see from him. So I like, look, if they are going 8-4, if they are going certainly 9-3, the biggest reason why, I mean, you can point to, I guess, a lot of them, but for me, it always comes back to the quarterback. I wish he was protected a little bit more. I wish he wasn't getting sacked 7 times in a football game, and I certainly worry, Matt, that he could get knocked out of a game. But Dylan Raiola taking a massive step forward. I think that we have seen that from him. He has made some big-time throws, and I think he got off the mat very well versus Michigan. So that was point number 2.
Has he exceeded your expectations?
Yes, because I predicted before the year that he would have 16 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. So, absolutely.
I don't think that. Yeah. By the way, some people might have called you a hater for that.
They did.
I don't think that was. I think that would have been maybe a little bit less than I anticipated, but I still think it would have been pretty big progress in my. Seriously.
Let me throw this at you before you go real fast.
Sure.
I said to John, I don't remember if it was July or August, but basically I saw 2 paths for Dylan. One, he takes a huge step forward, and the other, he was pretty much the same. Like, I didn't really see a middle ground of, 23 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. Like, I thought he would be really, really good or the same quarterback. I just picked the wrong path, I think. I picked he'll be the same quarterback.
Well, I don't think 16 touchdowns and 9 interceptions is him being the same quarterback. I mean, I think it's him taking a step forward. So, but at the same time, I think I've said it in the preseason. I don't think there was any way I thought that he was going to stay the same. I just thought it kind of what they invested in the O-line and what they invested at the wide receivers and the fact that you have Dana frickin' Holgorsen as your offensive coordinator. I was just like, there's just no way he doesn't get better. I just didn't think he would have 11 touchdowns and 1 interception through the first 4 games against 2 Power 5 opponents. And also, too, I think the whole Dylan conversation is like, use your eyes. I mean, if you use your eyes against Cincinnati, I know we all got some people got PO'd about the whole dink and dunk thing. But if you look at his feet, his footwork is so much better this year than it was last year, and his decision-making is quicker. And go back and watch that Michigan game, Josh, and I said it to you when we were watching it together. There was one play where he literally went through 2 reads and threw it to the third guy.
Yeah.
Holy shit. You know?
Yeah.
Like, all right, man. Like, that's – I know that sounds so simple, but that's like you'd be surprised how many quarterbacks at the Power 5 level just aren't really able to do that, you know?
Yeah.
And
one of my favorite Cowboys guys, he does film breakdowns of the offense on Tuesdays and then the defense on Wednesdays. The defense breakdowns this year are going to be terrible. But the offense one, it was really interesting. There was a throw that Dak had. It was can't remember if it was the touchdown or the 2-point conversion that made it 14-14. But he was like, watch the stripe on his helmet. And sure enough, it's like this way, and then it's this way, and then it's this way. And then he notices the open receiver, and he throws it to him. And Nebraska has stripes on their helmet, so take a look at his stripes sometimes. Just see how it moves and see what he's looking at in the secondary.
That is one thing that I didn't think he would get this quickly. Like, I still thought he was going to be a young quarterback who pulled his eyes down too quickly. He's not.
Yeah.
So now here's the problem, though. It's 4 games. I don't want to jinx him.
Yeah.
Don't want to jinx him. But he's noticeably better this year from last year.
Yeah, last year at this time, 4 games in, we were coming off the Illinois overtime loss.
Yeah.
Where and this is where I'll go back again to the get off the mat kind of stuff. That game, I thought he started really well, and then slowly it got worse and worse and worse. That was the only time last year, Matt, that I got to watch them in person. And if you remember that game, he has some layered throws. He has the touchdown to Nayor. Like, he was making plays.
Wasn't he 11 of 13 to begin that game or something like that?
It was a very high percentage. Yeah. It got worse and worse and worse. And
he missed the throw to Lindenmeyer.
That's the beginning of the real tough month and a half stretch for Dylan. This time, This time, he throws the pick and then he gets better. I can't wait to see October, because a year ago we were like, whoa, they got a dude at quarterback. And then the next month was terrible. Again, we are saying they got a dude at quarterback. I think this next month is going to go better.
I think you could have. I mean, I wasn't on the air, so I can't act as if I'm retroactively right. But I think that because I did think he was a dude.
Yeah.
After those 4 games. But I think you could have made an argument for Paper Tiger. I don't think you can make a Paper Tiger argument.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any Paper Tiger argument to be made. I think he's just good. Is he great? Yeah. No. But he's good.
He's good.
He's really good.
Yeah. Bullet point number 3, as we continue to go on. These were the reasons to believe. Matt, you want to talk about one that I feel really good about. It's time to start believing in special teams again. And the argument that I made at the time was not even they will be good or they will be like a net neutral. I said it's time to believe that they can actually be a net positive for Nebraska. And this one, like, they are, again, not perfect, right? They are not a perfect football team, but they are much, 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 much better. And it starts with the fact that they can snap the ball and hold the ball, which is like the fact that is the bar that they had to clear was pretty wild. But I keep singing the praises of Archie Miller and what he is able to do in the punt game. So you can kind of begin there. I know that Barney, I hated the catch inside the 5-yard line on the punt return, but he also had the play, and Rule brought this up in the post game, or maybe it was on Monday. He also had the play where he caught it and made some guys miss and picked up almost 20 yards. And so, like, you'll kind of take those, right? They missed the field goal, but otherwise the operation on the field goal has looked really, really smooth. I don't know, man. Like, this is such an obvious one to me that if you thought that special teams would be better, you should collect your winnings, because they are certainly a much better special teams. Much better special teams.
Kenneth Williams is going to return a touchdown.
You think so?
Yeah. He's going to break one. I went back. I watched Cincinnati game. I'm like, it's there. I went back. I watched the Akron game. I'm like, it's there. It's there. Yeah. He's got great speed. He just has to stay upright. I mean, he suffered an injury, so that's why it was a little meh during the Michigan game. I don't even think he was returned. I don't think he played the Michigan game, actually. I think it was Caleb Benning back there. And I think Caleb could pop some pretty big returns too. But I think Kenneth is going to do it. I think Barney, I really don't give a damn whether or not Barney returns a touchdown or not. It's more so just like, I'm so glad they're just net positive now.
Yes, it's nice.
He had one where he got tripped up. If he doesn't get tripped up, he might return one for a touchdown.
Dude,
on that
he
one.
always
field. Yeah, he gets
Jordan
really
says Barney will return a punt for a touchdown as long as there's not a sudden gust of wind.
So that's my thing. I think Kenneth could actually get touched and he'll be fine. I don't think
he'll still stay up.
Dude, here's my thing. It's like, I'm not trying to be like, I'm not hating on Ja'Cory Barney at all, but like,
yeah, I know what you
mean. Something's got to change a little. Like,
come on, just stay up. Just stay up. Pepper's been on this for over a year. Like, just stay up.
He gets knocked down by a feather, and then also too, like, I gotta stop. He gets hit, like just a regular hit, and I'm holding my breath.
I know, man. He does get smoked a lot.
It looks like a car crash every time. And man, he is so tough because I would die. You know, my back would be broken. He gets up every single time. Now,
and Big Red Easy says he bounces right up. He does bounce right up.
He does. He gets up every single time, and it's so incredible, and I have so much respect for him. But it's like, he did get hurt. This is a fact. I don't know if I'm pretty sure it was published, but this is a fact. He got hurt off that Cincinnati hit early in the game. Like, he actually suffered an injury.
I can't believe
he still
didn't
plays
die.
the whole game.
He got folded backwards. I thought, oh my gosh, they just lost him for the whole year. By the way, special teams.
I didn't hear the call, but I heard that Damon was like, oh my God. Damon had a really good moment on that.
Yeah. A couple comments from the subscribers. Patreon.com/IID Club, by the way, if you'd like to join our great community of subscribers. Brendan Rice, special teams, even being neutral is a big change. It certainly is. Bigger and Easy says, crazy that we get excited for execution of snaps. And D'Lo points out that was the best punt return, talking about Barney's last week, since I don't know when. Yeah, that was a discussion in my group chat, Matt, and we settled on a DeMornay Pearson-El punt return against Oregon in 2016. And so I don't even know if you know what play I'm talking about, but DPE had a massive punt return. It was at the end of the first half against Oregon 9 years ago. That was the first play that came to my mind.
I know that one. I did watch that Oregon game.
Okay, yeah, so that's the best, in my opinion, that was the best punt return that we have seen for Nebraska in basically a decade. So
DeJuan Gross, he was pretty damn good at returning.
Yeah, that was like 2002. So that's
I know.
You know.
Oh, I know. Okay. I know. I'm not making.
No, I just want to say like they've had better punt returns since 2002.
But I think I'm pretty sure like Gary and I went down the rabbit hole of like how good was DeJuan Gross.
DeJuan Gross was ridiculous. He was absolutely incredible. He had a punt return for a touchdown against Kansas State in 2001 that kind of helped swing the game in Nebraska's favor. He had this one against Texas that resulted in Jamal Lord throwing an interception. That is, Matt, I'm serious. After the pod, I will find the video and I'm going to send it to you. It is the greatest punt return that does not score a touchdown in the history of football because the Texas guy is touching him as he catches it and he still gets away from him and runs like 40 yards down the field. Incredible.
I don't know why, but like in July for some reason, and I love Gary to death, and this is just what happens when you host with him. But we had like 2001 week in July, where it's just like literally 2 hours a day for 5 days a week. We talked about the 2001, 2002, and 2000 seasons of like it was.
Those are my formative years. Those are like my. God, those are my years, man.
The best way I can characterize him is like, is Frank the guy or is he not the guy? Is Frank the guy? Is Frank not the guy? I like Frank, but I don't love Frank. I like Frank, I don't love Frank. I'd marry Frank or I'd date Frank, but I wouldn't marry Frank. Like that was literally
I-80 Club. If we existed during the Frank Solich era, would have been really interesting because people would have gotten to the battle stations very early on in his era.
Look, we have way too many fucking books out there about Nebraska football, but you probably like the Frank Solich era. I think I would read a book about that.
So I can actually offer you one book. Diary of a Husker, David Kalowski. Now he was on the teams.
Oh,
he was on the teams
on the Frank teams.
His first year was 1998, which is the first Frank year, and his last year was 2002. And so he was a walk-on offensive lineman. I read this when it came out. I honestly don't remember much about it, but beyond thinking like it wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be. But if you want like a book about the years, that would be one. But otherwise, there's not really anything out there about the Frank Solich years.
I'm a sociology minor. I love sociology.
Really?
I'm so interested by it.
Never would have guessed that.
Well, yeah, Happer was stunned yesterday because we were talking about, Mafia, the game Mafia. I was explaining. So the game Mafia is basically like you have two guys that are killers and a couple guys that are cops, and it's like you're trying to find out who the killers are. Essentially, there's another one. Werewolf. Do you know Werewolf? 2 people are the werewolf, 8 people are the villagers. The villagers have to find out who the werewolves are. Anyway.
It's like Clue.
Happer did not know that was actually, those games were created as a sociology experiment to prove that an informed minority would defeat an uninformed majority every time, and it proved the power of oligarchies and monarchies. And he was like, because I'm a dumbass, and he was like, how do you know that? It's because I love sociology. I think schema and how we interact and the things that are considered norms and, just what we consider appropriate and inappropriate is it's fascinating to me.
I know this is just such a surprise. I never would have guessed this from you.
And I think that one of the great studies of sociology within sports is being the guy after the guy.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
It's so interesting to me that you can have so much success and be really good, but because you came after a dude that was so much successful after you, it weighs down how you do and like your achievements, and it's literally just rooted in sociology. And I think that Frank Solich is an incredible study on that because he lasted so much longer than a lot of these other guys.
Than maybe Kalen DeBoer will at Alabama, for example,
or Gerard Mayo after Bill Belichick.
Oh my gosh!
So
yes, for sure.
Like that, it happens. So it's just that's why I'm rooted in the. I would love a full fucking dive in Frank.
Yeah,
because it was almost as if he was always rolling the stone up the hill. even though that they were pretty damn good in the years that he was coaching. And then it took him, 7 years eventually until he finally got fired.
He lasted 6 years.
Yeah.
He lasted
so there
6
you go.
years.
That really took that special teams combo really took a tangent.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how we got there because of DeJuan Gross. That's how we got there. Point number 4, and this is kind of speaking of sociology? Yeah. The groin kick era of Husker football is over. Now, like, Matt, this is one that we can't define at this moment in time. And John, of all of the 8 bullet points that I made, this was the one that Bishop pushed back on the most. He's like, you can't say that the era is over before we actually see it ending. But they did get the 1-score win against Cincinnati in a game that I think that they would have lost many, 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 many times in years past. That said, I do want to see them pull out a couple more of these types of games over the course of the next, 2 months of the season to really believe that that's the case.
I mean, it's not over, but and I don't think it'll ever be over. If we're being like,
wow, that's depressing.
I don't know. I don't think you can just. I don't mean it like that. I take that back. I mean, it definitely can be. It definitely can be. Over.
It can end.
It can end, but like it'll never go away.
Yeah. Big Red Easy asked, was the Michigan game a groin kick in your opinion? No. And the guys who helped put together the formula did the math. You want to know where that game would have ranked, Matt?
41st.
It would have been tied for 70th. It would have been tied for
last.
Oh
my God! Really?
Yeah, it is crazy. Like it had 0 hallmarks of a groin kick loss. So
actually, it was kind of the opposite because all the bounces went Nebraska's way.
Correct. And so I thought that was actually pretty good. Because and we're gonna do this, by the way. We're gonna keep track of every loss now. That it will go through the formula. The biggest thing that we're trying to figure out is how do we account now, like, for some of the changes in the program's expectations. Sure. And so one of the things that we are going to do now is, for a while, bowl eligibility was this, huge bug that they were unable to get, rid of. Yeah. We don't think that's going to be a problem. So now wins over ranked teams, or rather losses versus ranked teams, that's going to get built up. So like they got to get past that. But yeah, it would have been in last place.
Can I say this about the groin kicks, and we can move on because we spent a lot of time on teams. Yeah. I love Loki and the TV show.
Oh, yeah.
In season 2, there's this great scene where Mobius looks at Loki and is like, look, most purpose is more burden than glory, right? And then Loki asks Mobius, he goes, how do you deal with the burden? And Mobius says, scar tissue. Like, that's how I kind of look at the groin kick era. Like, Nebraska football over the last couple of years has been way more burden than it has been glory. Yet we all have a purpose to root for the team. Yeah. And how do we deal with the groin kick era? The scars. Michigan State 2021. That's just how you deal. So it's like, that's why I say, like, it'll never be over. What I more so mean by is, like, I'll never forget it, and you're never going to look back on it fondly. But eventually, I just don't know if you could have 70 close wins that will ever, like, match what you had to fucking go through.
Yeah, I mean, what you hope for is that you're just not losing those games in such a short amount of time anymore. Like, it's one thing to say, like, oh, man, remember that hard loss in 99 and that other hard loss in 97 and that other hard loss? But it's another thing to go, like, to just have a bunch of them back to back to back to back to back, where every loss is horrifying. And that's basically the entire Matt Rule era has basically been groin kick after groin kick. Very few just kind of normal losses.
Man, it was incredible how, like, he came in. And he
picked up right where Frost left off, man.
If anything, he kind of did it better than Frost did.
Yeah, the math said that the 2023 season was actually the worst season of all, which is interesting given that we all lived through 2021. All right, so those, Matt, were the positives. And I'm still waiting on this take that you've been stirring up in your bowl. So let's see if we can get to it in the negative one. So those were the 4 reasons to believe in the program. Let's look at the 4 reasons that I said stop believing. It's basically time to put down the Kool-Aid. 2025 Huskers are going to be more of the same. Number 1, the defense is about to regress. Wow.
Yes.
Shout out to me on this take. Now, a lot of people also had this take, but some didn't. I wrote Ty Robinson is gone, Nash Hutmaker is gone, Jamari Butler is gone, and some people think this side of the ball could be better. Matt, I never understood it. Now I'm speaking. I'm not reading my words anymore. I never really understood it. I never understood thinking it would be better. At the very least, I think I had at one point talked myself into they won't regress that much. But I'll be honest, man, by the time late August rolled around, I thought some big-time regression was coming, and I am certainly not shocked in the least. And so of all of the reasons that we will get to of don't believe in Nebraska football this year, this is the one that I think is going to age, sadly, the best. I don't know if there's a fix. I don't think that there is a fix with this side of the ball, right? And you're certainly in agreement there.
No, there's not. They're pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like, okay, sorry. They're pretty bad at stopping the run.
Yes.
The pass I have zero concern with. I think that they got draft picks in the secondary. I think Sierra Wright's a draft pick. I think Andrew Marshall might be a draft pick. I think Deshaun Singleton's a draft pick. Not high draft picks, but I think they're going to get drafted. That's how I see it. Okay. Now they got to do well in the underwear Olympics, where I don't know if Marshall's going to do well, but I think Andrew Marshall, sans a missed tackle that was very notorious in the Michigan game, has had a great season. Same thing with Sierra. They're just not good at the D line, and I'm going to pull the take out of the cauldron on the next one, but it has a little bit to do with this too. Like Cam Lenhart has not gotten better. Has not gotten better to the point where he needs to be.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't improved to the point where he needs to be since he was a freshman. Riley Van Poppel has not improved to the point where he needed to be.
Big Red Easy says he's been underwhelming.
Keona Davis, I think, is better than all those guys, but he's not a game wrecker either. Like he's not an all Big Ten dude or this great player. He's just pretty solid. Like none of those guys have taken the steps that you needed them to take in order to fill the shoes of Nash and Ty. And I think the linebackers aren't good, plain and simple. They get swallowed up. Like they are not noticeable on film. Javen Wright, Marquise Watson-Trent, they're just not getting off of blocks. It's the O-line we talked about the size. Hey, they're small up front. I think we all kind of convinced ourselves like, hey, maybe they'll be able to use speed. Nope, they get swallowed. The secondary, I mean, they showed their flaws in fitting in the run against Michigan, and we had Jay Moore on Wednesday, and he talked about how maybe the D-line, they could have done some stunts a little bit better, and maybe they could have had a different strategy in where they were positioning their guys up on the line. And that's more advanced football talk than I'm qualified to do. So I just kind of take Jay's word for it of like, all right, they could have aligned better on the D-line. Yeah, great take. I mean, like that guy literally lived it. Like he was awesome as a Husker.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, yeah. So I'll just take Jay's take and I'll use it as my own. Like they need to align better. But still, like just as a unit, they are not good at stopping the run, and nothing is going to change that unless they miraculously get better through practice, during the bye week and as the season goes on. But it's one of those things where it's just like, I'm not going to really bank on that. Great if it happens. Would love for it to happen. Not going to bank on it.
Dave Fight brings up the pass defense. He says, albeit in a small sample size, has been better than expected. Yeah, it's Matt. Like I can't wait to see the Michigan State game next Saturday for a couple of reasons. So one is their rushing offense is like not that good.
It's bad. It's 87th in PFF. It's not a good run fit at all, and their run defense isn't good either. I mean, Michigan State can't do anything on the ground either. Even worse than Nebraska.
So I'll be honest, and because I just said in response to somebody else that the Michigan State game will be nice to learn about the pass defense. It's not like their passing offense is that great either, but I guess I'm curious to see a team like this that is not Michigan and does not have the strength that Michigan does, to see how they decide to try to attack Nebraska. Like I think
I look at it the other way.
In what? How do you look at it?
Like, how does Nebraska take advantage of it?
Yeah. And, like, I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned from next week's game, for better or for worse, right? Like, I think I think you probably hosting Overreaction like you always do. This is your other job now. That postgame show could be quite interesting because I think, like, the sky could be really falling, or it could be, all right, when Nebraska doesn't play Michigan, they're going to be fine, And so, like, that's going to be, I think, really, really.
Don't you hate that?
I mean, kind of. I think it's going to be illuminating because there is not a Michigan on the schedule in October. It changes in November, but at least in October, it allows you to theoretically pick up some wins.
It's a little frustrating at times to have to deal with the expectation that they have to blow somebody out now for you to like think they're good. Like, I don't give it. They could win every game by 1 point. If they end up winning 9 games, I'm going to call them a good team. Like I'm like that's just kind of like that's what the Chiefs have done. For the last
you
3
can't demand Nebraska football get better by taking baby steps, and then they take baby steps, and you say this isn't enough. Like you gotta, you have to.
They just have to win. Just win because they haven't done it. So I mean, and look, this is just me being the narcissist, right? But it's just like. I hope that if they beat Michigan, that it's not like, well, it's not Michigan. Or sorry, if they beat Michigan State, it's like, well, play Michigan and see what happens. It's like I don't think that they very well could be 7-1.
Sure. Okay? Sure.
They could be 7-1. And if they are 7-1 and somebody goes, well, look at the Michigan game, dude, no. Like I'm not playing that. I'm not playing that because they won 7 games. And if they are 7-1, they are a better team objectively than what they did against Michigan.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Because I'm now thinking about BROR and how potentially mad I could get. And so
it could be so toxic next week, or stem the tide and feel a little bit better moving forward.
I don't think me doing 9 big red overreactions is good for my mental health.
Yeah, but it's good for your bank account though.
Yeah, which by the way, Josh was like, oh, Gary's filling in for the UCLA game. Gary's not filling in for the UCLA.
That game, I have a take that game's going to kick off at 10 o'clock Central Time. So good luck to all involved with that one. I think that's going to be Nebraska's late night game. Biff says, before we move on to the second bullet point, I hate how every game is a referendum on this program and fan base. Yeah, it sadly has been that way for a long time. That would be a nice thing about the next few games. Just pick up some wins and allow everybody to just take a bit of a chill pill. I just want some chill pill post-game shows.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't. It does not.
It does.
All
that
right.
is a pipe dream.
You said that the next one is where you've been stirring up your take. Another one, sadly, I don't mean to keep having great opinions, Matt, but yet again, number 2, seriously, how good do you feel about the depth in the running back room?
And such a prick.
Look, and I wrote about Emmett Johnson and how big of a fan I am of Emmett Johnson, and then I go, can he actually do this, though, over the course of a 12-game season? I still don't think we have gotten the answer to that question. He is touching the ball a shitload right now in these games. But I wrote, coming out of spring ball, it seemed like Quentin Ives was going to be the obvious number 2. I had my reservations at the time, but he earned that opportunity. Then he got hurt in the first practice of training camp and missed too much time not to wonder how far he's fallen on the depth chart. Up next are Mekhi Nelson and Isaiah Mosey, the latter having moved from wide receiver to running back this summer. And that's what Nebraska will be relying on to run the football in the Big Ten Conference, ? This group, Matt, is, look, what are our biggest concerns right now on the team overall? It is the pass, or it's the defense kind of broadly in general, specifically with a focus on the run defense. And then on offense, it is the offensive line / running game and just how they are unable to do anything in that. Like, I still like Emmett Johnson, but he is not.
No,
he is not what I maybe could hope that he could be. But the bigger issue is not him; it's behind him.
He's like the 9th best starter in the Big Ten, and you could make an argument that there are backups that are better than him. Mm-hmm.
So what are you stirring? Okay. What's the take here?
Mike Schaefer came on our show yesterday. I don't know if he told this to you. But, man, I texted him this morning because I've been thinking about this take that he gave us. I was like, man, it was such a good take. He's talking about the whole running back situation and how they said how great Quentin Ives is and how they hyped up the running back room and all that. And then it hasn't gone well. And they did the same thing with special teams. And now it's twice now where you've told us everything's going to be okay and we've given you the benefit of the doubt. And it hasn't been. And I'm not fully committed to this yet, but I'm thinking of, and the next couple weeks could confirm it. This staff, to their credit, walks around and talks as if they are great, as if they are amazing, as if they are one of the best staffs and some of the best coaches in the country, that Matt Rule is on a level comparable to Kirby and Lanning and these top dudes. And while they walk like they're great and they talk like they're great, they actually just might be good.
Mm-hmm.
They just might be good. They might be good coaches. Not great coaches, just good. And I say that because we talk about player development. We are a player development like program. Have they really done that great of a job developing players? Have they really done that good? Like, not really. Like, the D-line hasn't improved.
I was just going to say, you brought up Cam Leonard a few minutes ago, and he was the first guy that I thought of.
The running backs haven't developed. You know, they haven't gotten any better. You've invested so many resources in young wide receivers and 4-star wide receivers, in top prospects, and yet every year you've had to go and you've had to get 2 wide receivers from the transfer portal to fill holes. Outside of Ja'Cory Barney, who have they developed as wideout?
Yeah, nobody.
Right? The O-line, right? We go and look at the O-line.
That's tough.
They've had to go and buy, Rocco Spindler. They had to go and buy Elijah Pritchett. They had to last year go and buy Micah Mazuka. They had to go and buy Ben Scott, right? We have these young guys in Michachek and Sam Sledge and Grant Bricks and dudes that where are they? They're not anywhere to be found. And so, okay, Dylan developed. Hutmaker developed. Robinson developed. John Bullock developed. But 3 of those guys are dudes that you didn't even bring in, And so, yeah, Ja'Cory Barney is really, really good. And you've taken a 3-star from Florida and you've made him into a very effective wide receiver. But, outside of that, you're telling me you're a player development program. You haven't walked the walk. You've talked the talk. You haven't walked the walk. And
you want Barney to be – he's an outlier. You would want him to be a consistent story with all of the other positions and players, right?
Like I am getting to the point where it's just the lack of player development and the lack of practicing what they've been preaching leads me to believe that the ceiling for this program might be closer to being a 9-win program, 8-9-win program year
versus
year
the breakthrough that they had at Baylor. Yeah. I think you're spot on.
10-11. But
Matt says running back has been horrible. Yeah, the running back development is garbage. It has been so bad.
Terrible.
Matt, I don't understand it. I just don't understand how they can kind of preach it one way and talk up such a big game, and then that is how the group performs. It is very disappointing, honestly, because a good running back can really change things, or a good couple of running backs can really change everything, and they have just been unable to do that. So
yeah, and I'm not there yet. I'm not pulling the plug, and I'm not saying that they're not going to break through and they're not going to win. I'm not. This is once again why I'm in the cauldron and why I'm not saying why I haven't said this is what I believe. But we are getting there because, and I still think this. I still think they can make the college football playoff with Matt Rule. Okay.
Yeah,
I believe that.
But you're closer to saying maybe not.
Oh, yeah. Big time. And it doesn't have anything to do with the Michigan game, and more so to do with I just listed to you 15 players that we thought would be better than what they were, and they aren't.
Yeah.
And that's concerning. It's concerning. I'm not pulling the plug, but I am concerned.
Understandable.
So
we have two.
Maybe I
have two more to
overhyped
get
that
to.
take.
No, I think that's a good take. I mean, the crux of the Matt Rule era comes down to, do you believe that they can develop at a really high level? And if they can't, then it really does cause you to questions.
Yeah, but to be fair now, if they can get this recruiting class from 2027 to be what Callahan had that, what was it,
2005.
05, that recruiting class was insane. If he could do that in 2027, maybe you don't need to develop.
Well, I would say this though, that's not the next class. That's 2 classes away.
I know.
Those guys
are you even going to be here?
Yeah, those guys won't have an impact most likely until 29, 28 at the earliest, but 29. So that's some pretty wild things to lean on.
They're going to have a crappy recruiting class in 2026.
Yeah, which ain't good. The last 2, Matt, honestly, they kind of fit together. So I'll just read both of them. Number 3 was maybe they don't. Number 3 was Nebraska's in-game management leaves a lot to be desired. I still have my issues with some of their timeout usage or what have you.
Timeout.
What?
Some of issues. I have major issues. I can't.
I was trying to soft pedal it.
No. Can we stop with we have to take a timeout in the third quarter because we're not organized? Can we stop doing that? Why are we taking timeouts in the fourth quarter because you didn't get the play call in? You are a professional football program, okay? You are paying players. You have a general manager. You have guys with NFL experience on your staff. This whole headset to quarterback thing should not be new. You should not have to take a timeout because it's like, well, we didn't get the play call in or we have a bad look. Stop it. If you say he walks into locker rooms and goes, this is going to be a close game. Matt, in close games, you need all 3 timeouts. Stop it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, too. He always believes that every game is going to go down to the wire, and yet he doesn't treat the timeouts that way. Here's what I wrote. Will it change? Unlike with other spots on the roster, this isn't something I can wish into existence. Nebraska did something to improve the play calling. They did something to improve the wide receiver position. You can look up and down the roster and coaching staff and find those ways that they improved. It's a lot harder to do so with in-game management. If this is going to improve, it'll probably be some combination of fewer one-score games, better on-field management by Dylan Raiola, and might involve a little bit of luck as well. I'm dubious. And the reason that I brought up Dylan was because one thing that we don't ever do anymore is talk about Andy Reid's shit-ass clock management. Why? Because he has Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes and good quarterbacks, great quarterbacks, are able to do a much better job of kind of controlling the on-field infrastructure of the play clock or maybe pushing for or against a challenge. And so, like, that's something that, like, honestly, like, Dylan needs to do better. And I feel bad for putting it on him, but if they're going to get better on doing these types of things, it's going to be in part because of Dylan Raiola, period.
Well, I love this. This is my favorite part of this article because I have had the issues with their time management, and you are the only person that I know that has bullet pointed every mistake. And so I've actually on the air with Gary have gone back and looked at this article to then like use these points because it's just like hard for me to remember. I mean, there's 7 of them. There's literally 7 of them. So it's brutal. Just like, so I literally go back and I'm like, all right, USC, Maryland, Wisconsin, Iowa, fucking add the timeout they used against Cincinnati to that. Like, man, just
stop it. Stop calling timeouts.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying. And I feel like I'm fucking taking crazy pills because I'm I'm screaming this at people. And for whatever reason, it doesn't seem like it's as big of a deal to others as it is to you and I, but it's a big deal. Stop it.
You know why I think that is? I think it's because time and clock management, if a coach isn't good at it, is like one of the most depressing things, and people would just rather not acknowledge it. Because they just rather not have to think about it because it is so bad. Because, again, you could hire a coordinator to fix the problem. Well, they did that. They brought in Mike Eckler, and special teams is automatically better. Like, yes, I guess you could hire a coach to help with the clock, but it's so much different because it's intuition. It's having a feel for things. I mean, everybody always makes the joke, Matt, just hire a kid who plays Madden. But, like, there is kind of a bit of seriousness.
Todd Bowles did it. Todd Bowles literally has a clock guy. He was terrible at managing games. He just hired a dude that gets in his ear and goes, Todd, call a timeout. Todd, no, wait. They're gonna call a timeout first. You don't have to use your timeout here. They have somebody doing it.
Yeah, unreal. So that was bullet point 3. The last one we don't have to focus on too long because I think everybody kind of agrees on this one. I just need to believe it before I see it. How many people in the offseason, Matt, when they gave their record prediction, I know that I did when I said 7-5, I just kind of need to see them break through. I need to see them have that type of season. I need to see them win X, Y, and Z. And maybe Michigan was a chance to kind of push back against that narrative. Certainly the next month is going to be a chance to push back against that narrative. If they go through this month, certainly, like you said, at 4-0, and dare I even say 3-1, and they get to 6-2 before Halloween, I'd say that has answered some of the questions. The next 4 games are against teams that they should, quote unquote, should win. Jordan writes, bullet point 4 is why I predicted 5-7. Wow, that is some pessimism. I wasn't even able to get to that level of pessimism.
This is a good comment. Bayman goes, Matt wants to fire Rule. Put it on the internet.
Oh, Matt, come on, Matt, don't fire Rule.
I think I'm more of a Rule honk than anybody on the station. I would put myself in the pro Rule camp more than anybody, but I'm willing to call Matt out on his bullshit.
Yeah.
Even though I think that he's a really good coach and he's going to do. I still think that they will make the college football playoff with Matt Rule. I still think this will work out. I still think good things will happen. I am also willing, though, to recognize that there are things that need to be fixed. Okay.
Sure.
and they need to. And by the way, too, I didn't predict 10-2 this year. I predicted 8-4. I still think that they got crap to do. It's just I think next year is where I think. I've said this on the radio. I think we're in year 2 of Matt Rule.
So you're a year 0 guy.
I think he should have cleared house. Not should have. If you look at the history with Temple and Baylor, he cleared house and he played a lot of guys for different reasons. But he played a lot of younger guys. And by the time they got to year 3, you had a ton of younger dudes who had played a lot of football. You are not there right now. You actually have the opposite. You have a lot of young guys who haven't played a ton of football. Yeah. So I think that the timeline is actually more so for year 4 to be your year compared to year 3.
Which is interesting because multiple subscribers pointing out next year's schedule very, very tough, at least on paper.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't hate the schedule talk. The schedule talk is it's needed, and this is just the world of college football we live in. Brett Ciancia calls it you win the schedule lottery. Right? Like, that is a factor. Like, look at Wisconsin. I mean, that schedule is...
Yeah, they lost. Yeah, they lost.
Yeah, they lost it, and it's going to derail their season. But at some point, you do have to... At some point, you just have to beat good teams, though. Like, it shouldn't fully matter, But, look, all this to say that Matt Rule, based on the tradition of Nebraska, and I think Trev being in his ear, couldn't come in and be like, see ya, and just bring in a bunch of new dudes. And I think the portal wasn't as stable as it is now where you can do that. But I think that, the roster definitely is built more for him to have that big jump next year as opposed to this year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Still, stop taking timeouts in the second half when you don't need to.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. All right, we are about ready to wind down. I hope people enjoyed that discussion. Let's get to the Saturday flight, though, as we get ready to wrap this puppy up. My wife, by the way, did bring up that Matt Rule, should hire a coach on the staff like the Broncos did in 2022. That was hilarious when they did that.
She's a ball knower. I can't wait to meet her.
Yeah, soon. You're going to meet her in a month.
I know.
For sure in a month, maybe before that. You and I still need to just go have a beer together. At her establishment. Maybe we'll do that sometime.
I know.
Soon.
I've been trying to figure that out with you. But you know what the fucking problem is? I'm doing big red overreaction.
And you got more shows on the docket coming up soon. But that's a discussion for another day. Matt's excited. We're all excited for him. The Saturday flight. Let's go to the early window, Matt, which starts in an hour. USC at Illinois. Wow, has the shine gone off this game? Because I don't know if you saw it. Illinois lost by $1 billion last week to the Indiana Hoosiers. Yikes. Big yikes, Mr. McMaster. Big yikes.
Illinois, I thought they were a fraud after they won 45-19 versus Duke, which is, I think, says enough about what you think about Illinois.
I'm so bummed. I liked Indiana, and I didn't put it in my pick'em. Now I did go 4-2, so I'm not that upset by it. But God, I did like Indiana, and early on, I'm like, oh man, I should have.
Guess who has a plus 625 ticket for Indiana to make the college football playoff?
Let's go. I
only put $20 on it though.
Let's go.
This next game on ABC though is I am going to be watching like a hawk. I actually can't wait for that game. That's going to be electric.
Yep, Matt's Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the good Catholic boy that he is.
Stop it. Stop it.
Don't put it on the internet that Matt likes Notre Dame. At Arkansas, how many points will get scored in this game? Probably a lot. I saw a stat yesterday, Matt, in the 7 games combined that these two teams have played. The average total points is over 69. It's like 69.3 or 69.7. Nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm with you. USC Illinois is going to be on the main TV, but Notre Dame Arkansas will certainly get its own television in the basement for me. And then I'm going to quad box a combination of some of these other games. Georgia Tech at Wake Forest on ESPN, Louisville Pitt on ESPN2, Cincinnati, Kansas, very interesting game on TNT. I want to see how Cincinnati looks, of course, given that they're Nebraska's first opponent. They were Nebraska's first opponent. Kansas, a tough loss to Missouri, but they played some good ball this year. Did something happen in the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, they're screwed.
Yeah. Did they? Yeah, they suck. FS1 has UCF at Kansas State. UCF playing some good ball, sadly, right now. And then Rutgers, Minnesota. Wow, what a football game, Matt. Rutgers, Minnesota. What a football game.
That's a Peacock game.
It is not a Peacock game.
No,
but
I know,
but
it should be. It should
be a
Peacock game.
Speaking of Peacock, let's get to the 2:30 window.
So dumb that's the Peacock game.
I got Peacock. I'll be watching it. I can't wait to watch that game. 2:30 window. Look, 6:30 is getting all the hype, rightfully so. 2:30 is awesome. You have LSU Ole Miss, which will be tremendous on ABC, ranked versus ranked. Ohio State Washington has been a game that folks have been pointing at for months now as a potential spot for the Buckeyes to slip up. Let's see if it happens. Really good offense. We had a lot of numbers on the Grum yesterday. That Huskies offense, success rate-wise, finishing drive rate-wise, like they are kicking the crap out. Now, they haven't played
14 out of 15 of their red zone trips have ended in touchdowns, and their third down conversion rate is 75% or something stupid like that.
It's ridiculous. They're playing some great football. Let's see if they can do it against a tremendous defense. I can't wait to see how Julian Sayin handles one of the toughest atmospheres in college football, his first road start. This should be a lot of fun. And then Peacock has Indiana and Iowa. And Matt, this is my main TV for 2:30. Even with a ranked on ranked and even with Ohio State Washington, I'm going to have Indiana Iowa on the big dog. I'm going to be listening into that one. I cannot wait to watch this football game.
Auburn A&M, sneaky good.
Absolutely.
Utah, West Virginia should be a bludgeoning. I'm going to be dialed in on UCLA at the Cats.
That's why I put this on here. I put that on there as the Matt McMaster special.
Well, the Cats need to win this one.
And then Tennessee and Mississippi State. Mississippi State playing some good football. Let's see if it can continue. I do think that their undefeated season comes to an end.
But Arizona State just might be bad, which, by the way, told everybody.
They won last night.
They won?
You didn't know? Dude, you got to watch the last few drives. It is TCU absolutely pissed down their legs. Multiple turnovers by their quarterback, inclling one, Matt,
Hoover turned the ball over?
Twice at the end of the game. He got sacked, and the guy just took the ball away from him. They scored, and then they get another turnover in regulation. It was great. I was tired.
How'd they lose that game?
Yeah, you got to watch the end of it.
I looked. They were up 17-0. Or sorry.
Yep. Yeah, they were.
I was like, game over.
Yeah. This is great. I love that I got to break this news to you on the air.
Because I woke up at 8:30, and so I didn't look at my CBS Sports app or anything.
Yeah.
I didn't. I barely even. Screw you.
Sorry.
I told everybody that Josh Hoover. No, I didn't bet it. But it was
good.
Actually, it was more so a radio thing. I told everybody how good TCU's quarterback was.
Yeah, he shit the bed. And then the night window, of course, you know it. Oregon, Penn State, whiteout should be awesome. Bama, Georgia should be awesome. I can't wait for those games. The other ones to tune into if you want to watch tonight, Arizona at Iowa State. Iowa State still undefeated, by the way. People forget. App State at Boise State on FS1. The CW has Virginia Tech, NC State, Kentucky, and South Carolina's on the SEC network. And Matt, I didn't even have to make a sickos window graphic because there's none tonight. BYU at Colorado is the only game that kicks off after 9 o'clock, which sucks, though maybe good for me going to bed early so I can get ready for before the witching hour, which is coming up tomorrow morning with you and me.
I don't care about them, so I don't have a take. But do you have a Dion in Colorado take? Is this is it the last year? Is he?
I don't know, man. They do stink this year.
I'm at the point where it's I've now 4 weeks in have decided what I care about in college football, what my slants are,
and they ain't it.
They are not in there. The Big 12, there are 8 teams in the Big 12 where I do give a damn about them. I think the Big 12 is awesome this year. I love Big 12 football this year. It's great football. But Colorado, not on there.
No. Sam points out that I forgot a game on ESPN2. ESPN2 at 9:15 has a top 10 FCS matchup. Also, speaking of that, Sam gave us a great rundown of all sorts of games in the D3 and the D2 levels of football. I won't be now. I will have the Idaho-Montana game on my TV later because I just want football on my television at 9 o'clock at night. So not at 9. I'll be watching the end of Oregon, Penn State, and Bama, Georgia. But thank you, Sam. I will have those games on coming up later on this evening.
I'll be blasted. So I don't. At that point,
you will
be in bed.
And then you'll wake up, and tomorrow morning you and I will have a Before the Witching Hour, our new Sunday NFL pregame show with Matt and yours truly. Matt, the feedback on this has been great. People are wanting a crossover event Before the Witching Hour and the National Fun League where it's you, Shafe, and me on the podcast.
Oh, no, I know this. It's going to be a really good one. Schaefer and I are both experts at arguing about things that really don't matter in the grand scheme of things, which is why I think we're friends, but we also get annoyed at each other.
Yeah,
he gets annoyed at me. But Here's the thing, though. I think one of the best episodes of Gary and Matt is Schaefer and McMaster just yelling at each other for 25 minutes about Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. That was that was a great discussion.
It's a legendary discussion.
Yeah.
That and me farting.
Before the witching hour, we preview 5 games. What we do is we do a little deep dive on 5 games. And so Matt chooses the games that we discuss. We will do that tomorrow. Don't know if we're going to have any of the Monday night games this week because those games suck ass in the National Football League. But we'll talk about the other games, one that will involve our teams, of course. So we'll do that. And then the other games that are interesting to us, we'll do that tomorrow. That will start at 9:30.
We'll have a game going during the pod.
We will. We'll have Vikings and Steelers. That kicks off at 8:30 tomorrow morning.
Everybody knows I hate European football games. So
yeah, I like it. It's nice. So I'll be looking above my camera at my television tomorrow morning. So we'll be rooting against Aaron Rodgers together. Go Vikings! Or you'll probably be rooting for the Steelers, but I'll be rooting for the Vikings.
No, why would I be rooting for the Steelers?
Because the Vikings are in your division.
Who's playing quarterback for the Steelers?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We don't like that guy. We don't like Aaron Rodgers. Matt, thank you for filling in on the Saturday morning coffee show. This was great. Matt hosts Gary and Matt with Gary Sharp each and every weekday, 6 to 10. Yeah.
Sorry. Continue.
I was just going to say he also is the permanent host now of Big Red Overreaction. So you can hear him. You can hear him after.
You know what? I have gotten good reviews. There are people who actually, for whatever reason, do enjoy me on Big Red Overreaction. So
next week you're on with Happer.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I think. Yeah, that'll be a good time. Happer and Matt next Saturday night after the Michigan State game, and then Matt and I have the Minnesota game in a couple of weeks.
I listen to the crossover. I don't text you every time I listen to the crossover, but I really love the crossover between the Happer show and Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I think it's some of the best stuff that the station does. You are an ass. You said that you think I should be the permanent Big Red Overreaction host. That you literally put that into the ether. That you're like, maybe we should just have a guy that's always on BROR.
You do a really all-time quarterback, all-time host. You do such a good job, Matt.
I need to get paid more. If we're gonna
do such a good job. Yeah, if our boss Steve was listening, I apologize because maybe he'll hear that idea and say, that's a good idea from Josh. You're doing a great job. Oh, my wife points out most weekdays from 6 to 10, some weekdays from 7 to 10 is when that's going to hang over you for a long time. I feel bad about it. All right, Matt, this was awesome. Thank you so much for filling in. Thank you to Theo for the super chat earlier.
Yeah, Theo.
Check out Matt on his radio show each and every weekday on 1620 from 6 to 10. A lot of overreactions and maybe some other stuff down the pike as well with 1620 The Zone and with the I-80 Club. Stay tuned for that stuff as well.
I'm going to Iowa. Eat your vegetables, bet some unders.
Thank you, Matt. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you later. Coming up over the next few days, real quick, before the witching hour, Matt and I tomorrow. Volleyball State tomorrow night for subscribers. Big Ten breakdown with Ben on Monday morning, and then it's another week, and off to the races we go. I think we might have Mike Schaefer doing a Be Kind Husker Rewind with us next week as well. So stay tuned for the news on that if we ultimately do that. For Matt, I'm Josh. Enjoy the ball today. It's going to be the best Saturday of the year, and you don't have to be stressed by Nebraska. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.